Good morning. I, Mrs. Mata Deshmukh, with the help and guidance of Easy Test app, is here to discuss the chapter number 5 of Science 1. Let's begin. How do you feel when you touch the cup of prepared tea or coffee? It's hot. How do it becomes hot now? What do? We supply fire to it. Fire in turn gives heat to it. Okay, now this heat helps the tea to cook and it acquires heat and it becomes hot. One more example, when we heat the water or supply energy to the water, what happens to the water? It becomes hot. Now if I give energy to any material, what is the difference do it make? Suppose if I give energy to solid, solid will get converted into liquid and liquid will get converted into gaseous. Okay, now here what is the difference between heat and temperature? We can say heat is a form of energy. Okay, in the previous example we have seen that heat is converted into liquid and liquid is converted into gaseous form when we supply the energy to it. Okay, one more example we can take, general example. Ice is in solid form. When we heat it, it converts into liquid form, that is water, and if we still heat it, it gets converted into vapor, that is gaseous form. Okay, now if somebody asks you that whether the solid has more energy or the liquid has more energy, the answer for this is liquid has more energy. Now what we are doing here, we are providing heat to solid. We are providing heat to solid so that it gets converted into liquid. Now to liquid, when solid is getting converted into liquid, it is taking energy, right, in the form of heat. So who will have maximum energy in between solid and liquid? Liquid will have maximum energy. Okay, now if we still provide heat to liquid, it will get converted into gaseous form. Okay, from this what do we conclude? We conclude that solid has minimum amount of energy and liquid has maximum amount of energy as compared to solid, and gaseous has the maximum amount of energy as compared to solid and liquid. Okay, now we are giving energy to solid and to get converted into liquid, and liquid getting converted into gaseous form. Okay, so it is becoming hotter and hottest, right? Now if I take away energy from gas, what will happen? It will get converted into liquid, right? If I take away energy from liquid, then what will happen? It will get converted into solid form. Okay, now when I'm taking energy from liquid or from gases, means what I am actually doing? I am cooling the substance. Okay, gas is been cooled so that it gets converted into liquid. Vapors, when cooled, it condenses and it gets converted into liquid form. Liquid, when it is cooled, it gets converted into solid. Okay, for example, vapors getting converted into liquid, okay, when it is cooled. When water is kept in the refrigerator and freezed, it gets converted into ice. Now here the question arises, how much amount of energy is required to make the substance hot or to make the substance cool so that it gets converted into different states. Okay, now the new concepts comes into the picture, that is temperature. Now what is temperature? Temperature is the measure of heat or the amount of heat provided to the substance. Okay, we can go with one more example to understand more precisely the temperature. Okay, in summers, the metropolitan cities are much hotter as compared to the hill stations, right? Now here, if I take one of the examples such as Chandrapur, it is the hottest city, right? And if we compare the temperature of Chandrapur to Mahabaleshwar, you will say that Chandrapur is hotter as compared to Mahabaleshwar, and Mahabaleshwar is cooler as compared to Chandrapur. Okay, now how do we come to know this? With the help of the concept known as temperature, which is measured in degrees per Celsius. Now, generally, solid gets converted into liquid and liquid gets converted into gaseous form. Okay, but can the gaseous form directly gets converted into solid, or solid gets directly converted into gaseous form? So that we are going to study now. Yes, it can be converted. Now when solid is converted into liquid, melting takes place. Means when we provide energy to the solid, melting takes place and it gets converted into liquid. Okay, when liquid is provided energy, or when liquid is heated, okay, it gets converted into gaseous form, means evaporation takes place. Now reverse of it, opposite of it, when the gas is cooled, liquid is formed, means what is taking place? Condensation takes place. Okay, when liquid is cooled, it gets converted into solid, freezing takes place. But can solid be directly converted into gas, or gas directly converted into solid? The answer for this is yes. Okay, when the solid is directly converted into gaseous form, the sublimation takes place, and when the gas is cooled, it gets converted into solid, that is this deposition takes place. Okay, but when this all conversion is happening, either we are giving the energy or we are taking the energy. Okay, either we are increasing the temperature or decreasing the temperature. So only these two concepts are needed, are sufficient to change the state of the substance. So the answer for this is no. The other components which are important for the change of the state of the matter are pressure, intramolecular space, density and volume. Pressure. Now we all know that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, it starts boiling at 100 degrees Celsius, means the state of water starts converting into the gaseous form, vapor form, from 100 degrees Celsius, right? Now when you go to the hilly areas, okay, there the water will not boil at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, at normal temperature, at normal pressure, it is boiling at 100 degrees Celsius. But here, when you are going to the hilly area, the pressure is changed. Okay, so the water will not boil at 100 degrees Celsius. It will, the boiling point of the water will be reduced to 80 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Celsius. Okay, or between 80 to 90 degrees Celsius. Now, this water boiling point reduces or changes from 80 to 90 degrees Celsius. Why do it occurs? This occurs because of the pressure change in the atmosphere. Okay, the pressure on the mountainous region or on the hilly area is low, due to which the boiling point reduces. Another example for it is at your home only. Your mother uses pressure cooker to cook the food. In pressure cooker, the boiling point of water is neither 100 degrees Celsius nor 80 to 90 degrees Celsius. Okay, the boiling point increases more than 150 degrees Celsius. It may be 160, it may be 170, and so on. Okay, now why do we need to increase the boiling point? Means how do the boiling point increases? Okay, the boiling point increases due to the increase in the pressure inside the pressure cooker. Okay, so as the pressure increases, the boiling point also increases. As we decrease the pressure, boiling point decreases. Okay, and this melting point and boiling point related with the pressure is different for different material, right? Now when the states are changed from one state, from solid to liquid or liquid to gases, what actually happens in that particular substance? So this can be explained with the help of the another concept, that is intramolecular space. Now when we talk about solids, the molecules in the solids are nearby situated, compactly situated. They don't have enough space to move from their original place. Okay, they move at their own place, right? So when we apply the energy or supply the energy to the solid, due to that energy, what happens? The molecules in the solid starts moving with a greater energy. Okay, they collide with one another and they move away from one another, and this happens due to the energy that we are providing to the solid. Okay, so the space between the molecule increases and the substance and the solid gets converted into liquid. Okay, now in liquid, the space between the molecule is more as compared to the space between the molecule is more as compared to the solid. Here they move randomly. In solid, in liquid, molecules move randomly. They are away from one another. Okay, so they have more space between them, between the molecules, right? Now if I provide energy to the liquid, what will happen? The molecules will collide with one another with a greater speed. Okay, and they will be thrown back away from one another with more greater speed. Okay, now here we will go with the example of ball. If you just means push the ball, it will touch the ball and go to its original position, right? But if I move it with a greater force, both the balls, if I move with a greater force, what will happen? They will move away from each other with a greater speed. The same thing happens when the liquid gets converted into gaseous form. Okay, so in gaseous form, the intramolecular space is maximum as compared to the liquid and solid. In solid, it is minimum. Okay, so and when we talk about the volume, okay, so volume of solid is less as the intramolecular space between them is minimum. Okay, and the in liquid the volume increases, right? Because the intramolecular space between the molecules increases, right? In gases, the volume is maximum. Why it happens? It happens because intramolecular space between the molecules increases. Okay, as so from this what we come to know, if the space is less, the volume is less. If the space is more, volume will be more. Okay, now the next part that comes is density. If I take one of the container. Okay, in one container I put 10 marbles. Okay, and I take another container of same kind, of same size, and in that if I put 4 or 5 marbles. Okay, so here the container with 10 molecules will have, with 10 marbles will have more density. Okay, dense. And the container with 4 or 5 marbles will have less density because it has more space as compared to the first container. Okay, same way, same thing happens with the substance. In one substance of same kind, if one has 10 molecules and the other one has 8 molecules in it, so the one with the 10 molecules will have more density as compared to the substance with the 8 molecules. We'll go with one more example. In Mumbai, the population is more, therefore it is densely populated. But if we go to Nasik or Nagpur, space is more but population is less. So the density of Nagpur or Nasik is less than Mumbai. Now in solid, space is less, so molecules are closely situated. That is, the intramolecular space is less, volume is less, so the density is higher. In liquid, the space in molecules increases, that is, intramolecular space is larger as compared to the solids. Okay, so volume increases, number of molecule remains same, density decreases. Okay, if in gases the volume still is more, why? Because the number of molecule remains same, but the space between the molecules, that is intramolecular space, increases, and hence the density also decreases. So density of solid is more and that of gas is less. Okay, so these are the concepts which affects or which are important for the change of state of matter. Okay, now heat transfer. Heat transfer of different material are different, not same. Heat transfer of solid from solid is known as conduction. Heat transfer of liquid and gases is known as convection. And lastly is the radiation, which is totally different from conduction and convection. Now here, how radiation is different from conduction and convection, that we are going to study. The sun rays coming from the space to the earth, the heat transfer takes place. Okay, the heat is transferred from the sun to the earth. Now it moves from the vacuum between the earth and the sun, okay, enters into the atmosphere and then comes to the earth. Okay, so for radiation, for this heat transfer called radiation, medium is not required. Okay, but for conduction, solid is required, then only the heat transfer will take place. Now you heat any one of the utensils on the gas stove, and if you keep a spoon in it, okay, what happens after some time? The spoon gets hot, means heat is transferred from utensil to the spoon and spoon to you. Okay, so your solid is the medium through which the heat is transferred. Okay, same in the liquid and the gases. Okay, if you we have seen the example of tea. If you pour the tea in the cup gets hot and we can feel it. Same is with the water, we can feel it. Even the coolness, we can feel it. Okay, this transfer is known as convection. So for convection and conduction, the medium is necessary, but for radiation, medium is not at all required. Now, do this radiation affects the state of matter? That is the conversion of solid to liquid and liquid to gases. So the answer for this is no. Radiation do not affect conduction and convection. Next, we are going to start with the latent heat. To understand this concept, we'll start with one of the experiment. In this setup, what do we see? We see a stand, okay, a beaker in which ice has been taken, thermometer, tripod stand, and a burner. Okay, with the help of the burner, I am providing the heat, which is measured with the help of the thermometer. Okay, now before providing the heat, if I measure the temperature of the ice, it will be less than 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, as I start heating, after some time the temperature increases and comes to 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, at 0 degrees Celsius, after 1 minute, if I'll see, the temperature will be 0 degree only. Okay, after 4 minutes, 5 minutes, if I'll see, the temperature will be 0 degree. Okay, so here the temperature is remaining constant though the heat is provided through the burner. Though the heat is provided through the burner, the temperature of the setup remains constant. Now, where do this energy go? Though the energy is provided, the general rule, according to the general rule, if we go, according to the heat transfer we go, the temperature should increase. But the temperature is not increasing. It is remaining constant. It's remaining constant. Okay. So where is this temperature going? This temperature is been utilized to change the state of substance. Okay. Now here, what do we observe is when the heat is provided, either the temperature increases and the state of matter changes. Okay. Now my question is, can the state of matter and the temperature increases at same time? The answer for this is no. If the temperature is increasing, the state of matter will not change. Okay, and if the state of matter is changing, the temperature will remain constant. Both cannot happen at one time. Clear? Now this heat in which the temperature is changing, the heat in which the state is changing, the heat is absorbed by the substance to change the state from solid to liquid. Okay, this state, now this state is known as latent heat. What is that known as? Latent heat. Okay, in which the state of substance is changing from solid state to liquid state. Okay, now we define this definition of latent heat as such: the heat absorbed by the substance, okay, at constant temperature to change the state from solid state to liquid state is called as specific latent heat of fusion. Just keep in mind, the solid is changing into liquid, therefore it is known as fusion. Okay, as the whole ice is getting converted into liquid. Okay, when the whole ice gets converted into liquid, then at some time, that is maybe at 6 minutes or 5 minutes, the temperature starts rising. The temperature starts rising to 10 degrees Celsius, 20 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius, and so on. Okay, now here what is happening? In this case, the state is not changing. What is changing? The temperature is changing. It is increasing. Okay, and it will come to a point where again it will stop increasing. Okay, at that point what is happening? At that point again the state is changing, the liquid is getting converted into vapors. Okay, and that vapors are moving in air. Okay, now till the whole water gets converted into liquid, the whole water gets converted into vapor, the temperature remains constant at 0 degree Celsius. So this heat in which the water is getting converted into vapor, that is 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, that heat is known as latent heat of vaporization. What's that known as? Latent heat of vaporization. Now my question is, at suppose 0 degrees Celsius, what is the state of the substance? Is it fully solid ice, or it is fully liquid, that is water? So the answer for this is it is in both the states. It will have solid also, it will have liquid also. It means there will be ice also and there will be water also. Okay, so at 0 degrees Celsius, if I keep water and ice together at 0 degrees Celsius, will the ice get converted into water or the water will get converted into ice? So answer for this is no. If I have to change the ice into water, I have to increase the temperature, a little amount of temperature. Okay, or if I have to convert the whole water into ice, what I have to do? I have to decrease the temperature. Clear? Similarly, when I have the temperature, when at 100 degrees Celsius, suppose it's the boiling point of water, right? So at that time, is the whole liquid gets converted into vapor or the vapor gets converted into liquid? Can I do that? If I keep water at 100 degrees Celsius, it will remain water. Okay, to convert that into vapor, what I have to do? I have to increase the temperature a bit of it so that it gets converted into vapor. If I have to change it into liquid, the vapor into liquid, what I have to do? I have to cool the vapor so that it gets converted into liquid. Right? So what is latent heat of fusion? Latent heat of fusion is the amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of solid to convert into liquid phase is called specific latent heat of fusion. What is latent heat of vaporization? Latent heat of vaporization is the amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of liquid to convert into gaseous phase is called specific latent heat of vaporization. Melting point and boiling point. Now, what is melting point and what is boiling point, that we are going to discuss. Okay. Now, the heat is absorbed by the substance to get convert into liquid state. Okay, that heat is known as latent heat of fusion, right? But the temperature, the constant temperature at which the substance is getting changed, okay, that constant temperature is known as melting point when the solid is getting converted into liquid. Okay, that constant temperature is known as melting point. For ice, the melting point is 0 degree Celsius because at this temperature the ice is getting converted into liquid. Okay, similarly, what is boiling point? Boiling point is the temperature at which the liquid is getting converted into vapor or getting converted into gaseous form, right? That temperature is known as boiling point of that particular substance. Okay, for water, boiling point is 100 degree Celsius. Okay. Now here for different substances there are different melting points and different boiling points. Okay. Similarly, it will have different latent heat of fusion and different specific heat of vaporization. It's given on page number 63 of your book. Okay. Please go through that table. Right. Now, pressure also plays important role in melting point and boiling point. Now, how do it plays an important role, that we are going to see. When the pressure is normal, the water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, but as the pressure is reduced, the water starts boiling at 80 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Celsius. Okay, so if you're cooking a food at low pressure, what will happen? The water will evaporate, right? And it will not have enough water for the food to get cooked well. Okay, so for cooking well, the temperature of the pressure should be maintained, right? Similarly, when the pressure is increased, when the pressure is increased, the temperature, the boiling point also increases. It reaches near about 150 degree Celsius. Okay, so at 150 degree, now how it reaches up to 150 degree Celsius? The pressure cooker example we will take. Okay, when we heat, what happens? The pressure inside the pressure cooker is increased. This pressure is not released by the pressure cooker due to the lid that we put on it. Okay, and this pressure is not released, so it it helps the food to get cooked. Okay, and due to which the food is cooked properly in less time. Okay, so this pressure plays important role on boiling point and on melting point. I hope I am clear. We will discuss few of the questions which are given on page number 63. Now the first question given to us is the concept of latent heat applicable during the transformation of gaseous phase to liquid phase or from liquid phase to solid phase? Now we have seen that when the solid is converted into liquid or liquid is converted into gaseous, the temperature remains constant, right? When the state of matter is changing. Okay, that is known as latent heat. Okay, whether it is latent heat of fusion, solid to liquid, or it is latent heat of vaporization, liquid to vapor. But the reverse way, now gas is getting converted into liquid. So is that heat called as latent heat? This is what is the question. So answer for this is yes, because that heat is taken away and that heat, that temperature remains constant, and heat is utilized by the gas to get converted into liquid. Okay, similarly, when liquid is converted into solid, okay, the temperature again remains constant, and the heat or the energy whatever is taken away, that is being utilized by the liquid to get converted into solid. I hope I'm clear with the first question. Okay, the second question is, what does the latent heat do during, where does the latent heat go during this transformation? So the answer for this is, the latent heat is utilized by the substance during transformation. The latent heat is utilized by the solid to get transformed into liquid. Okay, and the latent heat is utilized by the liquid to get transformed into gaseous state. So latent heat is used by the substance for the change of state of matter. So here we end up with today's discussion. Today we have discussed latent heat and boiling point and melting point of the chapter. With that, whatever the concepts are related with it, that we have discussed. Thank you.